Hey everybody, my name is Dr. David Meyer, Performance Physical Therapist, and I'm going to go through a few corrective movements you can do for the Barbarian workout as a mixed martial artist to help improve your movements in general for the exercises that Ian is showing you and also for just generally good movement. So the first thing I want to talk about in regards to a kettlebell swing is doing a proper hip hinge. So we're using a PVC pipe or any kind of dowel that you're going to place along your spine. So one hand is going to be in the small of your neck, and one hand is going to be in the small of your back. Your feet could be about shoulder width apart, okay? And what I'd like you to do is hinge from the hips, pushing the butt back, maintaining all points of contact on the stick. So the important thing here is that your tailbone, your mid-back, and the back of your head are all touching the stick through the range of motion. What we're demonstrating here is the ability to maintain neutrality in the lower back especially, and the neck, when you're going into the deep aspect of the kettlebell swing. This will keep your back safe when you do the movement and keep you healthy.
What's up, Warriors? Barbarian here today, and we're going to go over a cool little exercise that's going to help apply to the mixed martial arts that you're doing in your life. All right, so what we're going to go over today is the two-handed kettlebell swing. Okay, what this is going to do is give you flexibility, stability, and explosive power in motions that you're going to need when you're grappling, training, fighting. A lot of low motions, exploding up, and using your hips. Hips are everywhere. Whether you're going to throw a good high kick, whether you're going to throw a good punch from any direction, whether you're going to shoot a takedown, your hips and legs need to be underneath you, powerful, explosive, and have flexibility. This exercise is going to emphasize that and help you execute what you need to get done. So first, we're going to start right here in the hike position, hips back like we're going to hike a football. Fingers, both hands on the bell, fingers wrapped around, and we're going to snap it back like we're snapping a football back to the quarterback. Boom! We're going to launch those hips forward, boom, making a nice rhythm. Bang! Back and forth. You should feel absolutely no tension in your back. It should be all from the ankles, from the calves, from the hamstrings, the quads, the glutes, the hips, and the core. That's where you should be feeling that burn.
So what we're going to go over now is doing a figure of 8 arm bar. This is working on shoulder stabilization. A lot of people like to do a lot of band work for the shoulder and rotator cuff and the scapula, but the truth is kettlebells are a great way to work on overall shoulder stability, and something I've used a lot with professional baseball players. So to start this movement, we're going to again go back onto our back. I have a 35-pound kettlebell. You could definitely start with a lighter one. Keeping nice and neutral, heels into the ground, hand into the opposite hand into the ground. We're going to press overhead, thumbs up towards your head. Good. We're going to slowly and gently lift our shoulder blades slightly off of the floor there. Then holding this position, we're just going to do a small figure of 8 with the figure of 8 center being the starting point. And you can do about 5 in each direction. Small figure of 8s.
And today we're going to show you an awesome exercise that's going to increase your punching power. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to start almost like we're doing a normal kettlebell swing. Okay, what we're going to do is start in our hinge position. Okay, hand's going to reach forward. We're going to snap the bell back. When we bring it forward, we're going to have it roll. Nice and easy. Boom, like I'm throwing a punch. Quick hip motion. Boom. Boom. What I'll do is I'll move sideways so you guys can see this. The bell is actually coming around. I'm not moving it around with my wrist. I'm actually, the force of me pushing my hand forward is bringing the bell around. Okay, emphasizing on using the forearm muscles, all these muscles and ligaments that interline, boom, when you're throwing a punch. All right, give it a shot, increase that punching power. Let me know how it goes, guys.
So the next movement we're going to perform is overhead shoulder flexion with a stabilized thoracic spine against the wall here, and then eventually using the band to promote a good movement pattern of our upper extremity, and especially for those movement patterns with the kettlebells that we're pushing overhead. A lot of people might have an issue where they don't reach full flexion and they might compensate at their spine. So what we're going to do here, standing against a wall, the lower back in a neutral position, head on the wall there, arms at your side. You're going to go slowly overhead, not over-activating your upper trapezius muscles. Touch the wall, hold for a few seconds, and then lower. And it doesn't seem like much, but what we're working on here is maintaining, again, a neutral spine and getting full shoulder flexion. At the very top, you might feel a little restriction or tightness. You're going to work through that, the end range, and then lower. I especially like this before you do the overhead Bruce Lee movement. Now, to make that a slightly bit more difficult, you can use a band here. We're pulling the band apart, just a mild resistance band. Now we're activating that rotator cuff, going fully overhead, and then lowering. Going fully overhead, and then lowering. And again, do this before you do the overhead kettlebell movements.
What's up, Warriors? Barbarian here today. We're going to go over a little move I like to call the Bruce Lee. All right, it's very similar to a rack and press. So you're going to start in the rack position, okay? Hands should be nice and rested like this. Bell should be nice and relaxed, right in the crease of the arm. Okay, why I call it the Bruce Lee is a lot of people do the normal press. They bring it out and they push it over, okay? Puts a lot of tension on the outer rotator cuff and inner rotator cuff of the shoulder. And if you do martial arts, boxing, throwing punches, or getting them wrenched in Americanas or Kimuras, you're going to be in a lot of pain. So what I like to do is to strengthen the muscles around those ligaments to prevent from injury. Okay, so we're going to go over the Bruce Lee. What it is a punching, twisting motion in the air. Boom. What I'm doing is I'm bringing my shoulder muscle very close to my ear, not to put any tension on the outer part of my shoulder. When I bring it down, it's going to be a rolling motion down. Rolling up, rolling down. Boom, like I'm going to punch the sky. Bang. Bang. Okay? I can also bring it down here, bring it to a rack, and press it up. But I like to call right here from the rack position, give it a nice little press. Pow. Pow.
So the next movement I'm going to show you is hip boxing. This is a difficult movement, especially for people with hip mobility issues. However, it's a great way to improve hip mobility at the same time, and there's ways to modify it. This is especially good for the exercise with the kettlebell that you'll be doing, swing in between your legs, the figure of eights. So how I want you to start this is in the 90-90 position at both knees, okay? Nice upright trunk. You're going to start the movement by coming up onto the knees and then just back down. And this might just be the only movement for you if you have really tight hips, just starting here. Now for those that have a little bit better mobility in the hips, you're going to swing to the side. Okay, so just work on that movement, keeping again a neutral spine. And then you're going to repeat that coming up on the other side. Then alternating, and then coming up. This works on glute activation as well as hip mobility, a great thing to do before the kettlebell swings in between your legs.
What's up, Warriors? Barbarian here again today, right? And I'm here to show you an awesome little workout to strengthen the outer, inner parts of the knee, the legs, and to keep you in your fight stance, okay? So what we're going to do is do a little bit of figure eights, okay? So what we're going to do is start with a nice little swing, okay? We're going to swing in and out of our legs, staying in that low position like we're going to grapple, going to strike, really emphasizing on moving the bell around. As you get better, I want you to start moving like you're playing ball. Boom. Boom. What this is doing is getting your body used to moving up and down, strengthening the muscles and the ligaments around in your leg for all those explosive, quick movements. And keeping the inner and outer parts of your knees protected. Give it a shot, guys.
So the next movement we're going to talk about is doing an asymmetric straight leg raise with core activation. This is really important for people that have poor ability to perform a deadlift, keeping the leg in a more straight position, and for a Turkish get-up especially, or the modified get-up for mixed martial arts. So you're going to start by laying on the ground. Here I have about a 35-pound kettlebell. I'm going to push toward the ceiling with my hand pushed into the ground, and the opposite side of the kettlebell with my left leg, I'm going to raise the leg toward the ceiling with my knee straight, lower the leg, and lower my opposite arm. And I'm going to perform about 5 or so reps, just activating my core to maintain stability in my lumbopelvic region to get that good straight leg raise pattern. And then you're going to switch sides, hand in the ground, arm elevated, opposite leg straight, trying to get that leg as straight as possible and as high as possible. Lower the arm.
What's up, warriors? Barbarian here, and today we're going to go over one of my favorite exercises, the Turkish get-up, and how this applies to especially those BJJ practitioners out there and mixed martial artists. If somebody's got you pinned to the ground, this is a good way to emphasize the strength in your framing, sweeping him over and using your hips and power from the legs to push and press your opponent over as he's trying to come on top of you. This is a sweep that I use all the time from my butterfly guard a lot. I have my knee shield up. I have my frame in the neck. When they come to press into me, it's a very good sit out. I can go for a guillotine. I can bummel them over. A lot of times with my frame, I can come here for an underhook, maybe go and push them over and get a nice little sweep. Wherever you are, when somebody's on top of you, this exercise is going to help you have the power, flexibility, and explosive strength to pummel that person over. Let's go over the exercise. First, you're going to start down, laid down position. Your bell is going to sit pressed over your head. It should just be relaxed, laid across your palm of your hand. Okay, the first thing is it is not a sit-up. I always was taught this and told this. It is a get-up, not a Turkish sit-up. So when you get up, we're going to get up right into a jiu-jitsu sit, and we're going to sit right here. Boom, boom, boom. Right, where are we sitting, guys? Back in our knee shield position, just our frame over our head with a 36-pound kettlebell. So this is where the splint and explosive power comes from. The next exercise we're going to do is we're going to window wash our leg in, just like we do in jiu-jitsu. We're going to do a jiu-jitsu sit-up. Boom, boom. Now we're going to sit all the way back up. This gives you this explosive power, like I said, to pummel that person over. Give it a shot, guys.